questions. But we've overrun a little bit, so we're going to press on with this agenda, programme of events. And I'd like to welcome to the front of the room here my very good friend, Steve Unwin. Thank you.
Hi there. I was going to open with comrades because of the Marxist fist, but we've dropped that, so that's probably a good move. My subject matter is the importance of local government, but I don't want to duplicate too much because later on this morning you've got Councillor Judy Moore, who's talking about being a local councillor, and then you've got the leader of the Hampshire Independents. They're far more expert than I am at talking about the importance of local government because they're actually doing the job. So I'm going to talk more about, just following up from what Ben has said, about the sort of election side of local government and other elections, of course. I'm been the regional organiser for UKIP for the Southwest for the last just over 2 years now. Prior to that, I was regional organiser for the Southwest for Grassroots Out just before the referendum, and then I was regional organiser for the Southwest for Leave Means Leave when it looked like they weren't going to honour the referendum, which they haven't done, of course. Therefore, my observations have been the last 2 lots of local council elections in the southwest of England. In 2021 and 2022, there's been roughly 800 local council elections. Roughly across the country, that'd be about 5,000 a year. 800 local council elections. There were only 14 Reform Party candidates, 10 For Britain candidates, 8 UKIP candidates, and I think there was 7 Heritage Party candidates. That's less than 5% of the local council seats had a candidate from our side of the argument, if you could call it that. That means 95% of local council elections, there was a Conservative candidate, there was, in most cases, a Labour candidate, in most cases, a Liberal Democrat candidate, and in about 60 to 70% of cases, depending on which county it was, there were Green Party candidates as well. So they're fighting virtually every ward certainly in the southwest, and I'm sure that's probably replicated across most of the rest of the UK. And we are really non-existent in most local council elections. That is a big drop from the 2014-2015 sort of period when we had hundreds of local council candidates, so we actually won hundreds of seats for a short while. Now, that does mean, therefore, that all these splinter parties that you've got, for example, there's the 5-Star Direct Democracy Party, there's the Foundation Party, there's the ADF, I think they're called, there's the Reclaim Party, and the English Democrats, of course. None of them fielded a single candidate anywhere in the Southwest in the last 2 years. So they're really not political parties in a way. They're more like pressure groups. And yet they're pressure groups, but not applying any pressure because they're not actually posing any form of electoral threat. And the thing is that there was talk earlier about the fact that it would be good to have 5 MPs or whatever it is. Well, actually, as Ben mentioned, we were most effective when we had a couple of defectors from Mark Reckless and Douglas Carswell, of course. But in the 2015 general election, I certainly stood in my constituency of North Dorset, and I came second. And I think we came second in about 120 seats. Now, that obviously we didn't come first, but nevertheless, we put enough pressure certainly on the Conservative Party, for them to fear they're going to lose seats. And there's nothing that that's the one language that they understand, is good Lord, this party, they're threatening us. So they might not win the seat of us, but we'll lose it. And that's the language they understand. So we need to. It's important at local council level that we unite together. The unity is strength, the slogan up there. That we actually work together so that between us, it may well be for example, in Winchester here. It might be in the north of the town. You've got an active UKIP person who'll stand, and in the south of the town there might be someone who's, perhaps a sole member of the Heritage Party, whatever, but who's really keen, but on their own they can't do anything. But if we unite together and back them up, then, we will get people elected and we will start to pose a threat. Really, all these little splinter groups, they're not even pressure groups. They might have a Twitter page and tweet things, but that isn't really an electoral threat. And it really, you're just talking among yourselves with that type of thing. So work together, unite the right. That's absolutely the right thing to do. I believe that, yes, I think John Butler told me, John Butler from Dorset, mentioned that there was an accusation of being far right, and someone responded to that and said, well, we're not far right, we've just been right so far. They're two different things. Anyway, I'll wind up there. I'll be around all day because I know that we're running over time now. I'll be around for the Q&A session when we have that this afternoon. So we'll answer questions on absolutely anything at that point, apart from my private life, which of course is impeccable. I'll move on from there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve. Right, the next speaker is Pat Bryant, and I'm really going to be interested in what she has to say. She knows her subject matter. So will you all please welcome to the front of the room, Pat Bryant.